Hi everybody, Alyssa here from Preferred Physical Therapy, where we help people aged 40 plus stay active and independent, live free from painkillers, and avoid surgery. Today I'm going to talk about how starting new exercises, activities is great, but how sometimes that can actually lead to injury. So how many of you have tried starting jogging, running, goes okay for the first couple of weeks, and then next thing you know, you're getting shin splints, you're having more pain in your glutes, your back, things like that. So what can happen is while, like I said, starting activities is great, we have to build into them, especially if it's a new activity or an activity we haven't done for quite a while. So there are a couple different ways that you can get an injury. We like to call them overuse injuries because they usually happen with repetitive trauma, repetitive movements. And so it can be due to a training error, meaning, like I mentioned, you started this new activity, but you took on a little bit too much too quickly. So maybe instead of starting with like walking, jogging intervals, you just went right for it, started running 3 to 5 miles every day, and that was going okay for a little while. But your body over time with that repetitive strain kind of starts to fight back. It doesn't really, wasn't ready for that amount of stress. And so then the other type of error is a technique error. So maybe you had not been into lifting, or you had started golfing a lot with a little bit extra time on your hands. And so if you're doing those activities incorrectly, again, our body can kind of make compensations, find ways to get around it for a little while, but over time, doing that repetitive movement incorrectly can also lead to some injuries or discomforts that you may not have experienced before trying the new activities. So a big thing with this is, again, like I said, if you're not used to the activity, like it's a brand new sport or a brand new exercise, or again, you used to do it, you used to run a lot, but you haven't done it in a little while. As we age as well, it is one of those things where you don't have to stop doing activities, but there may be things where you might want to change them in your training program to just accommodate. So maybe talking with your doctor, talking with a physical therapist, making sure that what you were doing is still appropriate and your body can still handle it. You're still doing it correctly. Your mechanics haven't changed. Like I said, keep active. Keep doing the things that you used to be doing, but just know that if you haven't done it for a little while, you might be out of it. You might be swinging your golf club differently than you used to, and now you're feeling it. Now you're like, oh, every time I do that, I get a little twinge in my back now. So it wouldn't hurt to just look at how you're doing the activity, maybe have somebody watch you, or like I mentioned, going to a physical therapist, a doctor, somebody and kind of talking through it. So a couple of ways to avoid this overuse injury would be, like I mentioned, proper training, making sure that you're pacing yourself with a new exercise program. So I know the mentality, you're either all in or you're all out. But being patient with yourself, knowing that if you haven't ran in 5 years, it's probably not a great idea to just go out and try to run 5-10 miles every other day. Your body might not be ready for it, and you may develop some of those shin splints, some of those issues with your knees, back, things like that. So instead of trying to go all out, maybe setting a goal for yourself for, well, I want to be outside for 30 minutes. So whether it's I'm running the whole time, or maybe I'm doing a walk, run interval for 30 minutes, and then building up to being able to run that full time. Another thing is as we start new activities, making sure you are doing it with proper form or using proper gear. Again, people oftentimes let their shoes go a little bit longer than the lifespan that they should. So ideally, if you're running a lot, every 250 to 500 miles is recommended, or changing your footwear twice a year or every 6 months for walking or running. It can lose some of that cushion, some of that support. Shoes break down as well, and especially in this Arizona heat. So making sure you have the proper gear, and then again with proper form. So maybe if you took up golfing, it wouldn't be a bad idea for maybe you to just take a single golf lesson, just if you're noticing that every time you're driving, it's causing you some discomfort. Just someone to watch you and watch your form can be very beneficial and save you a lot of money down the road, as far as trying to treat maybe the injury that's developing from doing that one thing incorrectly. So the other thing that I'm gonna kind of finish up on is don't let this overuse injury, or if you're starting to get more aches and pains with a new activity, deter you from doing the activity. You don't have to, again, that all in all out mentality, but maybe trying to pace yourself, talking with somebody else who is also into the activity that you're into. Maybe it's basketball, golf, running, tennis, things like that, about proper training techniques, things like that. Something to just help you build up the confidence and the form and the strength and the endurance to do these activities correctly, versus, oh, well, running hurts, so I can't run anymore. So try that out. If you have any questions about overuse injuries or about starting new activities, feel free to reach out to us. Give us a call, shoot us a text, anything. We're always available. And have a good rest of your week. Thanks.